Who should get that final spot in the T20 11? Now, that is with regards to the batting lineup. It was a question that was sent through to us. There were two questions sent in by the same guy, which kind of links together. So I'm going to be obviously answering that one closer to the end of the video. I want to first get the other guys out of the way because this is obviously the headline question that we used for the thumbnail. So on this particular show, we are back from a break, guys. So thank you for joining us again on this evening and being patient with us. And what we'll be doing is a Q&A to this kickstart things again so that we can get into the flow of things and how things were. So before we get going, before I get this Q&A going, you guys will obviously ask me questions in the live chat, but I'm first going to start with the Instagram questions. There are questions that were sent into us on Instagram, and we're going to be answering them first. But guys, if you are new to this channel and this is the first time you're here and that button is red, please click subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this with all your friends and family. Don't forget to chat about us as well. Also, we have a Patreon account now available. Our patrons are starting to grow, guys. So we're really looking forward to you guys start to become more part of the family, and you can do so by becoming a patron. So do that. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. There are different tiers, as low as buying a coffee. You could really become part of the family and get special content as well that we will be giving to you guys specifically to patrons down the line. We're trying to aim for that 20 patron mark, so hopefully we can get there. Also, guys, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. And this month we have available for you guys the Keshav Maharaj is on the front cover of this issue. We tried to get Keshav to chat to us, but within the span that we needed to do this particular article, he was obviously playing cricket, obviously test cricket, and then he also got married. So yeah, we didn't want to get involved with that one. So of course we want the guys to be able to have the time off when they need it, because they don't get much time off anyway. So that's what you guys need to do. So go ahead. What we did is like a season review, because we feel that Keshav has really stood out this season. He had an excellent season so far, especially in red ball cricket. Yes, he has shown some capabilities in the white ball format as well. So go ahead and download that issue. It's very important that you do so, guys, because this is all about the season review, how spin has developed, how there are loads of spinners coming through the system. We also get some comments from Marazan Cup. What is her takeaways from the season? We spoke to the likes of Ryan Rickleton as well, which is in there as well, of an exclusive interview that you can't find anywhere else about Ryan Rickleton's experience this season as well. We spoke to Tanisha Devnarain as well. She gave a review as the high performance coach for the women. And under 19 as well as emerging in SAA, etc. She is in control, doing excellent work at that level for women's cricket. And she gave us a review. And we also got a close friend of ours, of the channel as well, but of ours as well, as mine as well, Supakazi, the media manager of Cricket South Africa. She gave an excellent Q&A to the twins. The twins interviewed her, and she gave some excellent answers on her journey and what you guys can learn from that as well. As future and aspiring media people or journalists or whatever it is within the industry, if you want to learn about that type of things, you need to read that Q&A. It was an excellent Q&A. I really enjoyed it. So go ahead and read that one, guys. That's also available in that too. We also will be bringing some other exclusives coming this week as well. Now that we've had a nice break for Eid and we took some time off, I needed a little bit of a break just to restart that motor, guys, and so we can continue producing great content for you guys. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. I don't want to waste any more time. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to ask me. Hey guys, we are live and we are back with the 7 o'clock daily shows. Now that Ramadan has ended, it is a lot easier for me to do the 7 o'clock shows once again and bring you guys an amazing interactive show with guys from all over the world, of course, because there was a lot of people that were struggling with this time slot, the 8 o'clock time slot. We had a difficulty with getting everybody involved. So we're back to the 7 o'clock time slot once again, and it will be like that every single day, including our podcast shows on a Sunday. So all of the shows will be at 7 again at normal time that you guys were with us for a long time. The guys that are obviously new, you might be used to the 8 o'clock shows. Luckily, it won't be um, that we've been doing that for too long, so you can maybe do that switch, and please, we would appreciate if you can make that switch to 7 o'clock for our daily shows. But if you do miss it, obviously all of these videos are rewatchable, so you can go back and read it again. So let's get into the show. Interesting to see that there were some questions on Instagram again, as we used to have before. So I'm going to start with Tasmia. She says, "What are your thoughts on Cody Yusuf? Does he have the potential to make it big?" Now, I've spoken about Cody before on this channel when we discussed various players that stood out this season, etc. And Cody Yusuf is someone that I think has really put his hand up as a bowler. I think he's been excellent, especially in his last couple of games. He's shown his ability to be able to particularly dominate in the longer formats. For example, he's shown his ability in the first class arena. I mean, he took a 5 against the Titans this in the last game of the season for them. So 5 for 91 he took in that particular match, and 2 for 34. Overall, obviously, of 7 wickets in that match. So a very good performance in that match. But also in the list A arena, he's been good. I mean, against the Dolphins, 4 for 26. He played against the Titans twice, and one game, 1 for 22, and then obviously the major one, 3 for 59. I mean, a great performance from him. And I've been very impressed with his aggression, his ability to be able to stay calm. I mean, in the final, it was difficult for the Lions. I mean, the game was starting to obviously pull away from them as well. It was a difficult period, and Cody Yusuf actually took out the entire middle order in that game. So it was a very good performance from him, and he showed his ability to be able to take games by the scruff of the neck and change it for his side, because that was kind of running away from them at a certain point. I mean, we had like an excellent performance from Sibonelle Makanya as the captain, as the skipper, getting a 60 in that match, and Heinrich Klaassen and Neil Brandt. That was like the key figures of guys. I think Corbin Bosch at the end was excellent, but Cody Yusuf really did well to pull things back and to really put pressure on the opposition by taking out like three of the main batters that could really destroy a team. Like so, yeah, excellent performance from him in that match, and I think that truly showed what his capability is as a player in South African cricket. And he's still young, only 24, if I'm correct. So that would he still has some time to really show what he's capable of further. I mean, in the T20 arena, he might need to work on maybe finding that wicket delivery. He's good at keeping things a little bit quiet in some games, but it would be nice to add that wicket delivery as well and find that skill to be able to take the wickets in the T20 game. It's a completely different mindset, completely different skill. I'm not saying he's not capable of taking wickets, but I mean, maybe perhaps there might be a couple of things that he can add. And obviously, every player is constantly learning and trying to improve their game. So that's what I think about Cody Yusuf. Then we've got an up and coming legend that wants to talk about Lasiba's 100 and whether you'll get a call up soon. So, as we know, South Africa are busy, or South Africa A, I must say, are busy playing a series in Zimbabwe. So they played an ODI series, which they won, and now they're playing a T20 series, which they are basically almost close to sealing the victory of this particular series. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens because they went 2-0 up in a 5-match series, but it was a dominant performance with a bat this time around, and it's all because of one man that really stood out. And it makes sense that this question was asked because of this particular performance. Um, you can't go wrong. The Siban Guepe scored 114 runs, 63 balls, and he 13 fours and 5 sixes. His strike rate was 180 as an opener in T20 cricket in a match. I was quite impressed. But so was Riza Hendricks. Riza Hendricks scored at a strike rate of 220, 77 runs, 35 balls, and as well 9 fours and 4 sixes. Now, the question of the year is whether Lesiba is going to automatically get a call up because he's a black African. That was asked in the question. Will that be an advantage? And I don't think so, because the reason why I say so is Riza Hendricks. Riza Hendricks is a contracted player for South Africa. So for Riza Hendricks to be able to, he will be in teams and he will be selected. So he is performing currently. Lasiba does put up his hand because we've been speaking about him for quite some time, but we never thought that in a role as an opener that he would be able to do something like this. Now, you can't necessarily take one performance and just say, yes, this guy is the next best thing since sliced bread. We shouldn't run away with ourselves. And I say this consistently. I said it for Dieval Previs. I said it for Aiden Markram. I said it for so many, Marco Janssen, so many players. I said we need to be patient with our youngsters. Also, we need to be patient with the new guys when they get into situations. Now, Lasiba's doing what he needs to do at his age, because he's no youngster no more. But he's doing what he needs to do at his age, and that's put on the runs. And that's all he can ask for. That's all he can do, and that's all he can be asked for. To score 100 in T20 is not an easy feat. And we know that, even though, yeah, and some people will say, oh no, but I've seen this comments already online. Oh no, but it's Zimbabwe. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that. We can't pick and choose when we want to give praise and when we want to say someone needs to perform. If you say someone needs to perform when they get an opportunity, they can't control who it's against. And if they do perform well, they need to get the props for that. Now, he hasn't had as good of a list A season as he's had in the T20 arena. Now, whoever came up with the decision, the brave decision to push him up the order and let him open, I think that was an excellent decision because it paid off now. We can say that. So it's good to see a Black African batsman do what he's doing, because we are waiting for more Black African batsmen to put up their hands and start pushing through. Now, a lot of us were speaking about Sibs Makanya and saying, oh, it was unlucky that maybe Sibs should have been in the team, particularly in the one-day team instead of Lasiba. And there was maybe a case for that. But for the T20s, for him to perform as an opener, I think he needs to get a congratulations for that. And well done. Do I think that gets him an automatic place in the 11 or in the squads for South Africa? No, because I don't think that one performance can get you that. He needs to be consistent and he needs to show that. And there's other guys also waiting in the pecking order in that opening position for South Africa that are ahead of him. So you can't necessarily just say, no, he's straight into the team immediately. This needs to be eased in. It's good to see that we have options, and the SA8 was supposed to be for that, to see who's next in line behind the people that are waiting in line already. So that's what we need to do, and that's what this SA8 was about. That's why we need more of them, because if we can have more of them, these players have more opportunities to be able to play, and we can see them more often, and then we can make a better judgment on them. Lawrence saying, let's be honest, Lasiba ain't going to get in our T20 batting lineup, especially opening the batting. Brilliant 100, yes, but needs to be more consistent before we can. That's very sensible words there by Lawrence. And I agree with it 100%. And exactly what I'm trying to say right now. So thank you for that comment. So let's move on from that question now. Let's get into the main question. And I see Lorenzo basically slightly answers it as well as Kani, because they've given their 11s. So it will be nice to actually look at it and have a look at that, because I would like to see the structure of those 11s. So this is the question, and that was posed. I obviously had to summarize it to make it fit into a headline, because otherwise it wouldn't have fit. But there's only one batting spot open in our T20 11. Who do you think would be in contention? And do you think we should play our best T20 squad against India, or should SA experiment? So now there's two different questions here. I think both were good, and they kind of do interlink. So I'm going to start with basically the first half. This is obviously, I'm taking it under the impression that you have already picked your top five and you're looking for a number six. That's what I'm taking from this particular question, because he never necessarily gave who his top five or his top six, who his top five batters are. So I'm saying, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go with then having Quinton, Temba, Markram, Rassi, and David Miller as your five. And then we're talking about that number six position. Now, for me personally, I would like to see Tristan Stubbs get an opportunity um, to play in India, to go with the team at least and be in the squad as well and get some game time. Because I think that he could really slot into that number six spot. Um, but I think someone like George Linder should also be given a shout as a spinning all rounder in that number six slot, because in India, um, it would be maybe they'll be playing their best 11. So this is why the second part of this question is so important. Because do we pick our best team in India, or do we experiment? Now, I wouldn't say necessarily experiment is the word um, that I would use to describe it, because it's interesting. Because of different conditions, we know South Africa is going to be playing in Australia for the T20. Now, the conditions in Australia are quite different to the conditions, obviously, in India. You will take someone, you will maybe take an extra spinner to give you an advantage, and maybe a spinner that can bat in India. Whereas on Australia, you'll maybe be looking for more of all rounders that can bat, that are fast bowlers rather than spinners. So to fill up that team, and obviously amongst your specialist spinner, you want an extra. So this is a very good question, because it's stumping me as well right now, because I'm trying to think of what it will do to the squad if you give South Africa an opportunity to pick their best 11 for the conditions in India to try and win that series, or do you give an 11 an opportunity to prove themselves against a top quality team? Because we see that in the IPL, not every single T20 wicket is necessarily spinner only friendly. So I think South Africa should maybe go, and it would have been nice to have a DJ here to speak about it. I'll maybe speak to him tomorrow on the show when I chat to him. But what would be nice is if South Africa can keep consistency going into the World Cup, so that South Africa know who their 11 is, and they can start adding to the squad if they need more according to the conditions. But I want them to kind of know who their 11 is, man, like for every single game. And we'll have to wait and see, because if Stubbs is selected, he can spin too. So it would be good to test him out as well as a bowling option. Um, he does bowl. He can maybe bowl 1 or 2 overs. Maybe he can maybe share it with Markram, to like Markram can maybe bowl 3 and then he can bowl 1, something like that. Markram can bowl 2 and he can bowl 2, something crazy like that. But or you take George Linder with, but then George has to come to the party with a bat. Like that's what we really need. Otherwise, he's just going to be picked as an extra Maharaj in a way, because we need George to be able to put on that massive knocks that we see him do in domestic cricket. So that's what I would obviously like to see. But for me, I would like to see consistency, and I want South Africa to pick their best 11 in T20 games going into the World Cup. I don't think there should be too many experimenting apart from maybe 1 or 2 positions. I don't want them to be like, oh, let's give everybody a chance. Let's give every opener in the country a chance. No, it's not a tryout for the World Cup. They had a World Cup campaign. They need to tweak from that and build momentum going into the next one. Maybe 1 or 2 weaknesses that were in the squad in the first World Cup, they can maybe switch it around. Maybe some dropping needs to happen, but they need to start building that mentality of knowing who their 8, 9 players are that are going to be the core of the lineup. So yeah, let's see some of your comments, guys. What do you have to say? Lorenzo gives his ideal T20I 11, and that is Quentin de Kock, Temba Bavuma, Markham, Faf. Oh, yo. RVD, Muller, Pretorius, KG, Janssen, Ngidi, Shamsi. Very good lineup. I wish Faf can turn. Kani saying Rousseau, Quentin de Kock, Rassi, Markham, Muller, Stubbs, Linda, Pretorius, KG, Nokia, Shamsi. So, okay, so you've dropped the captain and you've appointed a new captain and um, you've also not selected Yanaman Malan, who's back up to. So you've dropped Yanaman also, and you've brought Rousseau into the team. I see. I'm trying to work out what your thinking was, and then Nokia, Shamsi, Pretorius, Linda, Stubbs, Miller. Okay, interesting team. Interesting team. Let's be honest, the Seba. Oh, I read this out already. Sorry. Linda got a raw deal by the selectors. It was. I do agree with that. I did feel a bit sorry for George Linda now he's been treated because he had a very good build up to the World Cup, and unfortunately, um, yeah, he wasn't selected in the main squad, in the main 11, main squad. Yes, so it was a bit unfortunate for him, and I think since then it's been a bit downward a little bit for him. He's been focusing on domestic cricket, trying to put on performance because he'd rather be playing cricket. I take it. That's how I know George. Someone that would rather be playing cricket and working hard and playing for a team and playing cricket and being out in the middle than sitting on the sidelines and not being selected. So he's the one that wants to be active. But it would be nice to catch up with him and maybe have a conversation and find out what the true story is behind everything. Spinners do well in all conditions in T20 cricket. Yes, they do. That's very true. That's obviously you're talking about what I said earlier. Yeah, and they do. But obviously, in spinning conditions, it obviously will aid it a lot more. Obviously, two spinners and maybe someone who can bowl an over or two of part-time spin. That I think is Aiden Markram's duty. In the team. That's how I see it at least. And bear in mind, the World Cup is in Australia. Yep, good fast wickets. Ball is going to come on the bat, and which will make ball striking easy. So it plays nicely into his hands. Who knows? Perhaps India for that series prepare fast wickets because they're also preparing for the World Cup instead of preparing slower wickets to win the games. Who knows? So I think South Africa should put together should prepare for both. And if you can pick versatile batters that can bowl a little, that's in your favor rather. I think rather do that. Put Tristan Stubbs in there. Um, give guys like that an opportunity. Maybe you can put Deva Brevis in the squad who can also bowl like 1 or 2 overs. You can put a Vian Libbe in the squad who can also bowl. So like think about out of the box and start playing these guys, picking these guys that can bat and bowl a little bit. Because I think when it comes to our specialist spinners, we are sorted. I do think that Tabrei Shamsi, Keshav Maharaj, and Bjorn Fortuin, who doesn't get enough respect for how good he is, mind you, and his part that he played in T20 in Paul Rock's winning title. I mean, also the part he plays in the Lions winning trophies as well. So I think he needs a lot of more respect than he gets. But that's three very quality spinners that are also okay. Two of them are very handy with the bat. The Braves don't shoot me, but two are very good with the bat. Or decent with the bat. So to throw in some batters that can bowl a little, that will be a really tough squad to compete against. Because you got variables you can choose according to conditions, then you're not stuck and sitting here and thinking, oh no, who did I leave at home that I should have brought? Pick a proper balanced side, and you have to be ruthless going into a World Cup. There shouldn't be, oh, I'm worried about this person not being picked. What he's gonna think about me not being picked and all of that stuff. No, it needs to be ruthless. Three seamers, two spinners, says yeah, Dusty Rhodes muffler. Faf no way into SA setup again, seems out of form. SA need proper seven. It's Marco or Pretorius. Texa and Tristan Stubbs and everyone else is behind him in the pecking order right now. Okay, Dusty says Quentin de Kock, Temba Bavuma, Markram, Rassi, Miller, Stubbs, Linda, Janssen, KG, and Gidi. Shamsi, very good team. Bring Brevis as backup could be an X factor. I agree. I'm interested in seeing what Brevis can do domestically, though. I really want to see him get an opportunity to play domestically and play against men, and they would have been watching him closely, so they would have worked out part of his game. I know he's been doing it against superstars in the IPL, but playing domestic cricket without crowds, playing domestic cricket in these out conditions can be very, very, very difficult for them. So it'll be a different type of challenge playing against our domestic players. It will teach him different types of lessons, patience, control, a lot of things. It will teach him loads of lessons. But I think that with regards to T20 cricket, we have a gem in our hands and we need to protect him and give him the right opportunities at the right times. Lauren saying, for me, we need to play structured 11 and don't just pick and change just for the sake, just the sake of, just for the sake of things. Stick to your best 11 and make changes around that, not 3 or 4 changes every game. Consistency is key, 100%. I want to see consistent T20. That's why I said for the T20 World Cup, the 2023 World Cup, we got a little bit of time. There are a couple of positions still up for grabs in that team, which we can still find. And unfortunately, they are more under pressure in that game because we are doing poorly in the ODI charts in the rankings. So we need to get ourselves back up there again. And we need to start winning games and picking a team that can do so. But if they find that winning formula, they need to stick with that team, because I think by the time they're winning that 2 years or 1 year that 2 years turns into 1 year very quickly. And then you sitting here still looking for your best team 1 year from the World Cup or 6 months. It can't happen. They need to know this in the next when the season starts again. I want to see at least a core group of 8 or 9 players that we are consistently picking in positions consistently, not moving them up and down, then by batting 3, then 1, then 4, then 5, then no. I want to see consistency. And that's what I want to see. I want to understand the structure, the structure, because once you can see the structure, you know what style of cricket we're going to be playing, and we can enjoy it much more. Belated Eid Mubarak, Khalid. Thank you, Wazim. Um, Battle 9 with Linda and Dwayne and be ruthless at the top, targeting 200 most times. Yes, being ruthless is very important. Ruthless is very important, and playing that aggressive style of cricket. Now, South Africa have a lot of talent, and we know that we do, but we need to see that talent get opportunities. We saw that we'll have to see how Tristan Stubbs does for the rest of this, obviously, Zimbabwe tour. He's coming in situations not necessarily giving him opportunities to really dig his heels in and play, because South Africa's been doing really well. So and where he's batting, there aren't many collapses. There haven't been really many collapses at the moment. So yeah, I mean, obviously he was there till the end. He came in and he was not out, and it's good for him to do that because he's now itching now to play and score some big runs. But there's nothing you can do about the way the games have gone. South Africa, they basically have dominated the first 2 games. So Tristan Stubbs was excellent in the first game and he showed it. He had an opportunity there to win the game, but he wasn't necessarily chasing the amount that he would have hoped for. So it's a little bit of unluckiness, I would say, from his part to really put it on and really wow people and blow them away the way we obviously want to see him. So he's got 39 not out in that first game. And then he came into this situation to try to get us, over that mark. So he played those roles perfectly, though. He definitely did. He played those roles that he was given perfectly. He came in, he chased down in the first game. He did his job, got over the line, not out. Good for his average. Comes in the second game and he needs to push us over that mark. He needs to push us over that 200 mark basically. And he did so successfully. He did so by contributing, 17 of 9 balls. So good performance from Tristan, and he showed enough. I think I want to see him grow and grow and grow in that position. Maybe there will be an opportunity where these players lose their wickets, which South Africa are down, and Tristan can come in and really smack it and score a massive half century. But he's doing his role to the best of his ability. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way he performed. Khalid, we also need to be mindful of in terms of what the outcome of the hearing will be. Yes, we do. If we get a new coach, and he might want his players we might not even think about. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this hearing, what the outcome of the hearing is. I'm hoping that they will be transparent with us, and it will be a fair ruling. That's what I'm hoping for, and that this can be resolved, and then we can go back to cricket again. Do what teams like England are doing. They're explosive with the bat and bat deep. Good evening, says Jean. Can't wait for Ngwepe to get Kokol up to the national side. That 114 was massive. Khalid, who do you pick if there was a choice between AB, JP, and Faf? Oh, and they made themselves available. I'm taking JP, offers a lot more and he has a cracking. He was the best T20 player in the world. I don't know, in South Africa. I think he ended. I think he still is. I think highest run scorer in T20 cricket actually for South Africa. Um, One of you guys maybe can go check. Maybe someone overtook. I don't know if someone overtook it or not, but I know he was for a very long time. Um, I will look at this team and I'll see where is our biggest issue within the squad, and our biggest issue is in that JP position. So I would probably also go for JP Tumin in the sixth role. I think that's the biggest problem that we currently have, and his experience and his ability in that role in T20 cricket. I wouldn't mind JP at six. I think that would probably be my choice if I pick between AB, JP, and Faf. AB in T20 international cricket necessarily hasn't been the guy that we know and we see in the IPL. Faf du Plessis is excellent, but then you take in a younger player or you're taking the captain out of his position, which is highly unlikely. Even though I would want to see Faf du Plessis in a team and play as an opener, but yeah, I mean, I would probably go for JP out of this particular guys at the moment straight away. John saying Brevis can play that JP role or Libba. I don't see Brevis as a JP role. JP can bowl you 4 overs and takes wickets in T20 cricket specifically, and also JP is a different type of stroke player to Deerwald. He's also very good at running between the wickets in different difficult situations, which Deerwald needs to still develop. I feel in his game. I haven't really been happy with the way JP has ran between the wickets. I mean, not JP. I'm sorry. Deerwald has been running to between the wickets. I would like him to obviously improve that in his game. Vian Libber, I thought that Vian would be that person for us, that finisher, and he told us himself he's prepared to bat anywhere if he gets picked in whatever role he needs to play. So is the character of the guy. But recently he's been opening, batting three, in those positions he's been in T20 cricket. So I wouldn't even put him in that JP role from if you're going to take from where he plays in the last he's been playing his cricket the last 2-3 seasons. So yeah, for me it would be JP straight away, and you pick him straight away. If it was exactly the team and there was nobody else, yeah, I would go with JP. Um, in that particular case, I know even though I'm not saying that JP is necessarily better players than Faf and AB, but because of what JP offers, I think it's something that we actually do lack in the team. Because leg spin makes him valuable, and he is valuable, but he needs to work on his leg spin. Um, his leg spin can still progress and he can still get better at it. To say that he's as good as JP Dumini already as a bowler would be naive, because he still has a long way to go. You can't just say someone's better than someone else if they've only played a week of cricket, for example. I'm saying, or they've only played a year of cricket or a couple of months of senior cricket. So we need to be patient with Brevis and stop putting so much pressure on him and allow him just to grow and play freely and be who he needs to be. If Boucher goes, Does Vic? No, I don't think so. Their jobs aren't related, so I don't think they both go. Brevis is still raw. Needs a couple of seasons. Good domestic cricket still needs a lot of work if he wants to be successful. And at international cricket, he can only do it for domestic cricket, says Lawrence Bailey. Yeah, now the experience he's getting in the IPL is invaluable. And it will teach him things that, again, our youngsters in domestic cricket won't know about. But there are some lessons that Devalt can still take from. I still think that cricket has something to offer Devalt, especially in playing the longer format. I think 4-day cricket is going to turn this boy into a into even better of a player than he currently is. He still has a lot of time, place to grow, and he's still very raw, and he still needs a lot of time to develop and become a better cricketer and a better batter and a better bowler. And I think that 4-day cricket will teach him a lot of lessons very quickly. And I think he needs to play for the Titans. They need to find a way to put him into that team. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. It's nice to be back with you guys again. We're going to be continuing with the 7 o'clock slot going forward. I hope you guys are happy with that. If you're not, let me know. If there's an overwhelming response of saying, no, guys, please go back to 8, then I will maybe keep it at 8. But for now, I'm gonna go back to what was original because we don't want to change too much things so close to all the time. So we want to stick to consistency. Consistency is key, like everybody's saying. So we're going to go back to our 7 o'clock slot. Let us know though in our DMs if you want us to change it back to 8 again. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Don't forget to do all of the commands that I asked you at the beginning of each video. Smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And become a patron today, guys. That will really help us, and you can join the family. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you very soon. Peace.